The position requires the management, development, and implementation of operational programs in mail processing. Describe an example of your past experience in this capacity.
Well, my current position as the manager of operation program support, we're in charge of every procedure and policy that has to do with processing, collecting, sorting, and delivering mail. Just most recently, I implemented a program for the logistics center where it's brand new, it's in its infancy stage, but we're really trying to develop, it's a GPS system involved in the scanners where we can see live information on the carriers, which also translates to the customers, where they can see their packages and they get an email like 15 minutes to up to 2 hours in advance of when their package is going to arrive. So I just recently went down to Pittsburgh and did some training. I brought 2 individuals with me, and we sat through the training, kind of dug into the data. We set up some SOPs and some procedures that we're going to take back with our district. Once I returned from that training, along with the 2 individuals that worked for me, we set up a pretty intensive schedule to train each individual POOM area. So we selected 7 offices out of each area in the district. We provided training with them, and then after that we did some online training live to actually show them do it. To me, I could sit there and lecture and all day long, but when I learned the military is almost do one, see one, teach one. So we wanted to really get them hands-on, supervisors and other postmasters working on the information and the programs, so we knew for sure that they could do it. And since we've been up and running this program, we had a couple kinks here and there, but just in the last week and a half alone, we've seen some really good budget performance in the city of Buffalo and the city of Rochester.
Based on your knowledge and experience, in what areas do you foresee an opportunity for improvement, and provide an example of where you may innovate?
Parcels. Parcels 100% is our only product that's growing. As I mentioned earlier, it's over 100% more than what we did last year. So I would target that. I would try to work on more technologies. I think that's where we lag behind some of our competitors. Such as some of the programs I have on now is a product tracking system. I created kind of an Excel spreadsheet that I pivot a lot of the numbers into that directly link to our track and confirm. So when we do have the errors from Amazon, FedEx, and such drops from UPS, and we get feedback from them, I can just drill right in on those spreadsheets and forward that as a push report out to the station and branches in the West New York district. And then they will have to investigate on what happened on the product and then follow back up with me.
How do you delegate responsibilities to your team?
I have to say, this is work in progress for me. I kind of used to be wanting to do everything as a perfectionist and take charge of everything. But as you move up in the organization, you're responsible for more and more and more. So actually, my MOL program that I'm currently enrolled in, just about to graduate in, has taught me that the research we've done, that you have to let go, empower your people. Yes, they're going to make mistakes, but then use that as a tool to mentor them and coach them not to make that mistake again. So it's definitely work in progress. Lately now I have a couple, some high performers that I believe could take the next step. So I've been kind of giving them a little off my plate and letting them try it out. They're going to make some errors, and they have, but just constant communication with them. I have an open door policy. If they have some questions, they can come in and ask. And then we set time aside weekly and review how they're growing on their progress, on their new reports and new projects that they're working on.
What is your greatest strength, and what would be your greatest weakness?
Again, I think I'm a good communicator. I've learned through walking from the door from day one in the Postal Service, it's all about communication. You almost sometimes can be like a car salesman. You're dealing with a pretty tough union, so you need to kind of sell to them what you want to do. And you got to align their goals with the goals of the organization, and that's not easy. So I think it's definitely effective communication. You need to be visible. You can't be that manager or postmaster or leader that sits in the corner office. You need to be out in the weeds, working, demonstrating that you can do the job and that you know how to do it, and continue to communicate and let people know when they're doing a good job, which a lot of times we fail to do, and then when they're doing a bad job. As far as weakness, I touched on that a little bit earlier, it's letting go. I believe I need to work on letting go a little more, empowering some of my up-and-coming supervisors and support staff, giving them more responsibility, because that's what's going to develop the bench. And I'm not going to be here forever. Give them the opportunity, and then it allows me to do a little more future planning when I can allow them to work on the day-to-day management and oversight.